Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's Kiki. I want to thank you guys for joining me this evening or whenever you guys are watching this, especially if you're part of the replay gang. Don't forget to leave a comment and let me know that you guys are there. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that like button, comment. Once this is posted, don't forget to share. And if you haven't done so, subscribe and join the family. I'm going to try and keep it as light as possible today because the topics that came across are very heavy. So, disclaimer, tough topics tonight, okay? So don't kill me. It's going to be some tough topics because you know the 4th of July was this past Monday. So, we'll get into that. We'll get into that for sure. But shout out to and congratulations to Jayland Walker and Big Sean. It has been officially confirmed that they are expecting their first child together. Now, if you don't know, Jayland Walker has a child from a previous relationship, and now her and Big Sean are expecting. They are like the world's cutest couple that's been very low key. So, but we are rooting for them. They're that couple that we rooting for. Remember in the movie Jason's Lyric, we was rooting for Jason and Lyric, like go ahead. How about Love Jones? We was rooting for that couple as well. We was really rooting for Janet and Tupac and Poetic Justice. So they're one of those couples in real life that we just love to see. They cute together. And I'm just so happy that they are expecting, and I'm praying that this is a blessing for them and a wonderful, wonderful birthing experience for Janae, and it goes as textbook as possible. And I don't know if she's booked Erykah Badu to be her doula, but I wouldn't be shocked. So congratulations to them. Is there any other good news that I really running? Oh, Usher did his tiny table performance. I have yet to really look at it, but it's been some funny memes about it. You know, watch this. I've seen that. I've seen those memes, and that's the funniest thing ever. But I do love Usher's music. I've been rocking with him ever since he got on the scene. So I'm pretty sure when I do watch the tiny table, it's going to be amazing because it's Usher. You know, there was some technical difficulties like it was at the Essence Festival. Pretty much everybody that performed at the Essence Festival had some technical difficulties, and Janet was not an exception. They didn't even air Nicki Minaj's set on Hulu because she has such bad technical difficulties. But I'm pretty sure Usher's tiny table performance was everything that we would expect it to be because he's an awesome performer and entertainer. So that's somebody that can actually sing and entertain, like Tina Turner. I'm just saying, you know. So but Tina Turner was a great entertainer, and Usher is a great entertainer as well. So I can't wait to really sit down and watch that because I'm pretty sure it's well worth it. So let's go ahead and get into these topics. Now, like I said, the 4th of July was this past Monday, and a lot has happened. While everyone is celebrating the birth of our nation, you know, we still are on the backs of Roe v. Wade being overturned. And I don't know about you guys, but, you know, 4th of July was pretty much somber for me. It's like, what are we really celebrating? Because Jayland Walker was shot and killed by officers. Now, from what I'm gathering, he failed to stop for a traffic stop, took them on a car chase, took the police on a car chase, ended up being a foot chase, Allegedly, he fired off one shot, and next thing you know, the police shot off between 8 police officers shot off 90 rounds. 60 of them hit Jayland Walker. So one shot versus 90. And I just read that when his body got to the medical examiner, he was handcuffed. His body was handcuffed. There was signs of life-saving attempts, but he was still handcuffed. So what's the sense of handcuffing a deceased person? Are you that afraid of a deceased person that he might come back as a zombie and get you? I think you've been watching too much Walking Dead. But I understand when a suspect turns around and shoots at cops. That's not something that I celebrate, condone. If you going to go ahead and pop off at the police, then you should expect them to pop back. Just saying. The question is, was it necessary for them to riddle his body with 60 bullets when he only popped off one and no cop got hit? And then also proceed to handcuff him, even though he had expired at the scene, because of 60 shots. Unless it's a miracle, you can guarantee be gonna die at the scene. Hey Erica, sorry. Hey Sheila. Hey Erica. So is one shot worth 60 bullets? This man has lost his life. Now he was doing something technically criminal because he was fleeing the police. He was in the process of actively fleeing the police for a traffic stop. And then he, led them on a little police chase, a car chase. Then that turned into a foot chase where he turned around and popped off one round. When they shot off these 90 rounds, which 60 of them hit him. When they got there, he had no gun on him. So between him getting out the car, popping off that one shot, and then proceeding with the foot chase, proceeding on foot, the gun went missing. But you riddle his body with 60 rounds. 60 rounds. Does that make sense? Does one bullet constitute 60? Or 90 rounds, which 60 of them hit him? I talked to some of my coworkers and friends, and I was just like, even though he did what he did, I still consider it excessive. I still kind of consider that excessive. But we have to see how things play out because this is fresh. And like I said, to me, 4th of July, it really, and I'm not being un-American, unpatriotic, but, with the state of our world and the situation that's going on with Roe v. Wade being overturned, and you got this another person gunned down by police. It wasn't, to me, it really wasn't anything to really celebrate. I understand that people want to be happy and things like that, but yeah, it sounded excessive to me for sure. But it really wasn't anything to celebrate. I don't know what's happening with our country. Low key afraid. I'm keeping up appearances. But, I'm low-key afraid. And then just to find out that the officer that shot and killed Tamir Rice in Ohio, some years back. He just got a new job. He's back on the police force somewhere else. Yeah, exactly. Where's the weapon and who are the witnesses? Is there body cam footage? Can we see something? Did they turn off their body cams? Because from what happened in St. Louis, I believe that was St. Louis, they're not, with the George Floyd situation, they're not supposed to turn off their body cams anymore. So can they find his weapon? Because they say that he shot off one round, and I get that. And they had to in self-defense shoot back, but 90 rounds, 90, which 60 of them hit him. But like I said, Tamir Rice, the police officer that shot and killed Tamir Rice, he's back on the police force. I believe in Chicago. He's back on the police force. Just found that out today. So I'm like, no one's getting justice here. Even George Floyd, low-key, not getting justice. He's getting a form of justice, but is it really, really real justice? I mean, seriously. It's just sad. It's just sad. And I've been very somber the whole time. I've tried to, be happy about the 4th, and it's just different. It's just different. My heart is like very, very low, and it hurts because of what's going on in our world. It's just sad, and I don't know which way our world is going, which way our leaders are taking us. It's sad all the way around. So another case where we have to sit, watch, and wait and see what happened. It's just beyond sad. But this is America. This is America. You could overturn Roe v. Wade, but you can't pass a gun control law. Which one is more important? Gun control or population control? I believe I believe Jayland, he's in his 20s. I want to say he was 25, but don't quote me, but I believe he was in his 20s. I know he wasn't in his 30s. So I would say early to mid 20s to be safe. And it's just sad. It's just sad. That's what I got there, because it's just sad. It's yet another black man that probably is not going to see any type of justice, who was gunned down by the police. And you get to a point where you're like borderline numb to this. You get used to this. And it's sad that you get used to this. You see another police shooting, you just like, okay, that's another black guy. And we know how this gonna play out. But yet, in Chicago, they on the 4th of July, at their parade, 4th of July parade, they had a mass shooting. Had a whole mass shooting. This is like a young adult, 18-year-old, was able to get military grade weapons, dress up as a woman, get into this parade, and shoot people. And then I don't know where Jayland Walker's situation, it might have been Chicago too. But hey Paris, how you doing? But here you are in Chicago, Highland Park, Chicago. They had me confused because we in Michigan we got a Highland Park, so I thought it happened here. And I was like, that don't look like our ghetto Highland Park. But it was Highland Park, Chicago. And you got this 18-year-old that has killed, I believe it's under 10 people now, and injured like almost 40. I think he was standing on some type of roof, Paris, picking off people. And the saddest thing was that was coming out is that this little 2 to 3 year old was walking around covered in blood, and kind of find out his parents, he was found up under his father. Both his parents are dead. Both his parents are dead. His father covered him and shielded him from the bullets. So now the grandparents have to raise that child. And I'm praying for Jayland Walker's family. I'm praying for the victims of the Chicago mass shooting. But this is a white guy who was able to do this. And you know bloody well that they're going to try and say he got some mental illness. Yeah, he's alive. They arrested him. And he was all on the internet for years, spewing his hate. Exactly, Paris. Exactly. This boy been on the internet for years spewing his hate. He's been on the FBI radar. But they did nothing. This boy was dressed up like a woman, was able to shoot and kill injured and kill these people, leave, walk to his mother's house, take her car, drive somewhere, and somehow they eventually track him down and get him. And now he's in jail. But he's alive. And like I said, you know bloody well they're going to say, oh, he got some mental illness, probably because he was dressed like a woman, maybe. They're going to try and yeah, that Paris, yes. That was his disguise, so he could blend in with the crowd and be able to escape. So this boy had a plan. This boy went there with a plan and a mission. So he clearly knew what he was doing. And you guys still think we don't need gun control laws? You still think we don't need those? But yet you want to control when and how a woman can have a baby. I just heard where a 10-year-old is now being forced to give birth to her rapist baby. She was impregnated by her rapist. Now she's being forced. This is a 10-year-old girl. So it's okay to force a 10-year-old girl that was raped. You're going to force her to have a child by her rapist, but you cannot have gun control laws. Do we not see a problem here? Do we not see a problem here? Do we not see where priorities are lying? Priorities are a little bit mixed up here. They can. But who's to say they could afford that? Because now everything is state by state. So, you know, even in my state, it hasn't been confirmed whether they're going to fully ban abortions or limit abortion. It hasn't been fully etched out in here in Michigan. So this just got overturned like a week or so ago. So each state is going to have to determine what they're going to do about abortions. Yeah, I'm upset about that too. Yeah, they're forming, Paris. They are forming. Trust me. There's companies like Amazon and I want to say Amazon for sure, and some other companies that will help their employees. If you find yourself in a certain situation, your employer can help you. It's a list rolling out there that of companies that are willing to help their employees with abortions. So you know it's coming. You know those lists are coming. They just still have to be etched out and fine-tuned and given to the public. You know, probably have to be underground. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. So she could, hopefully her parents can, if that's what their choice, if that's what they want for their daughter is to have the abortion, have her have the abortion, then they could try to raise some money to go to DC. They have to find those particular states that are willing to still do it if that's their option. But my thing is, you want to sit up here and control women's reproduction systems, but you can't have gun control laws. And these are two instances. You got a young man, Jayland Walker, even though he popped off that one shot, he was riddled with 60 bullets. Excessive to me. Then you got this mass shooting on the celebration of the birth of our nation, which is a day to should have been a day to celebrate. And it became a mass shooting. I think it should be free. When she go, it should be free. But they're gonna have to charge because now their Roe v. Wade has been overturned. So that's gonna be a hefty ass fee. But like I said, this is America. This is where the priorities lie in. Literally makes no sense. Let's keep it rolling because we got another incident. I warned you guys in the beginning that these were going to be some tough topics. Here yet again, I believe, in Chicago, an off-duty police officer accuses a 14-year-old Puerto Rican boy who was with his non-ethnic friends, y'all know what I mean by that, on his bike. They got their own stuff. This off-duty cop, remember I said that, off-duty cop accuses his 14-year-old Puerto Rican of stealing his son's bike. So he tackles him and pins him to the ground. He basically got his forearm on the back of this boy's neck, and got him pinned to the concrete. Hopefully they won't arrest the parents or the child if she gets it done out of state and come back. We're in new territory. Back to how it was before Roe v. Wade became law. You have to keep it on the hush hush. You know how it was back in the day when somebody, got pregnant in school and they went missing. Oh, so and so is down with that with auntie and uncle so and so, and then they come back and you're like, yeah, I went down south to take care of my new baby cousin. They done had a baby. So hopefully nothing comes of it if they take her to another state. I'm pretty sure they won't be able to do anything to her. But again, in Chicago, this 14-year-old Puerto Rican boy is tackled and assaulted by an off-duty police officer and being accused of stealing his son's bike. Now, the boy's friends that he was with, the non-ethnic people, his friends, was able to separate finally get the cop off of him, off of the young man. They finally was able to get him off of the young man and put themselves between him and the off-duty officer. And they vehemently said that no, he did not steal your son's bike. What happened was the bike was already here and he tried to move it out of the way. He didn't steal nobody's bike. So this young man is now traumatized basically for the rest of his life. Because when his parents finally got to him, his whole demeanor changed. They said before he was a happy kid, you know, he was outgoing. Now he just, you know, they got there and he was just hanging his head like he a severely lost puppy. Withdrawn. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Yet again, another instance where a person of color was targeted. Because he could have targeted any of those kids in that group. But he went after this young Puerto Rican boy. Why didn't he go after the other kids? Why did he not go after one of the other kids? Obviously, it was about color. Yes, Erica, I agree. This is beyond horrific. But I felt that this was something that needed to be talked about this week because 4th of July was this past Monday. It's nothing to celebrate when this is going on. When things like this is going on, it's nothing to celebrate. It's nothing to be happy about. This is the state of the world that we're living in. Girl, I hate it here. I've been saying that this whole week at work too. I'm like, really? Really? People are just getting worse. On a personal note, my elementary school friend lost her son over the weekend due to gun violence. His first day doing DoorDash. Shot and killed. 22 years old. Gone. And now my friend has to bury her firstborn child. Senseless killing. Senseless. Probably over some food or some exchange of words. Yeah, they need to go to island somewhere. They need to all go to an island. Because you remember I said they only represent 7% of the world's population. Only 7%. But they got all this power. They got all this power. Because they done hoodwinked the rest of us into thinking that they superior. When people of color outnumbers them. But they want to keep us divided. But they only represent 7% of the world population. So to me, this 4th of July was not nothing to celebrate. I sat at home and just listened to the fireworks. I'm just here for the fireworks. Because what's there to celebrate? What's there to be happy about? My friend had lost her firstborn child due to gun violence. Thank you, Sheila. I'm watching her go through her grieving process on Facebook. I'm getting pissed off. Still pissed off. Because it triggered me going back to when my brother was killed. And then you got all of this crap happening in the news. I agree, Paris, because none of us are pure. None of us are pure. No race is pure. There's always been mixing. Always. I believe that's what God, this is my opinion. This is what God intended. Was mixing. Love is love. Honestly, love is really love. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, guys. So to me, this 4th of July was not nothing to celebrate. You got people still dying of, you know, the thingy thing that's out here. People dying of gun violence. Exactly. I agree, Paris, with that wholeheartedly. And you got this senseless crap going on. What is there to celebrate for America? How are we going to sit up here and celebrate America? Is America still great? Is America still great? Is America, is it still is America still an American dream? Is it still the country to go to? And you got all of this crap going on? Seriously? What's so great about, tell me what's so great about America right now? With all these laws being overturned. Because trust and believe, Roe v. Wade is just the tip. They already talking about Brown versus education. They already talking about rescinding that. Like I said last week, Roe versus Wade being overturned has just opened the door for the rest of them to be overturned. Brown versus the Board of Education, the Plessy one, anything dealing with LGBTQ plus community laws, anything dealing with black and brown people, yeah. Be expecting a bunch of them going on the chopping block. So what's there to celebrate? What's there to celebrate? Not for me. And I'm not saying that I unpatriotic. I'm just stating facts. For me. Exactly. I agree. That's why I say get out there and vote. I know primaries are coming. You won't change. Get out there and vote. Because these people have been in office too long, and we as the public have not been doing our due diligence. We have not been doing our due diligence. We haven't been researching these politicians' background, seeing how they vote. Do they align with what we believe? Because if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be sitting there. If it wasn't for us and the people that did not vote, these people that's making these laws now and are overturning these laws would not be there. So go out and exercise your right to vote. Go and do it. Primaries are coming, then elections are coming. That reminds me, I gotta check our voting office and see if I can early vote, because our primary is is next month. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to another topic. But I did forewarn that this was going to be heated. Now, Snoop Dogg's daughter, Corey, I believe her name is Corey, or is it Cordy? I apologize for saying her name wrong. She's been dealing with a lot these last couple of years. And it's all due to her skin color. How melanated she is. She is a beautiful melanated young woman who happens to be the daughter of Snoop. Just saying. She's beautiful. Beautiful. But she's been getting flack. She's been body shamed over the years. She's been talked about because of her melanated skin, saying it's too dark, this, that, and other. Now she's dating a young man, and from her Instagram, From what her Instagram is showing, it's nothing but love there. It's nothing but love. And she's getting these dumb comments from the public saying, oh, he's only with you because you're Snoop's daughter. He wouldn't be with you if you wasn't Snoop's daughter. Because look at you. Really? Really? So of course she popped back at the trolls educatedly. She got a little hood, but in an educated way. You can snap back at somebody's hood, but educated way. I fully agree. Leave this girl alone. Y'all done caused this girl to have mental health issues. Probably anxiety, self-esteem issues. The public has caused that on her. Exasperated it for her. She said that this is stuff that she's had to deal with ever since she was little. And she's finally learning to love herself. Leave her alone. This boy fully loves her. Let him love her. I don't know what went on with her name. I just can't pronounce it properly. It's either Corey or Cordy. They might have made fun of her name too. But remember, Snoop name is Cordis or something like that. Snoop legal name is not Snoop Dogg. As far as I know, he ain't petitioned the court to legally change his name to Snoop Dogg. Like Kanye changed his name to Ye. Legally. Just saying. But people need to leave people alone. Leave this girl alone. She's a beautiful melanated girl. Her father dotes on her and loves her. She ain't out here doing crazy-ish. Yeah, something Brodus. I know his last name is Brodus, but I know his first name, I think it starts with a C. That might be where she got her name from. It's part of his name. Yeah, Cordell. So, her name is either Corey or Cordy. Cordi. And that's a homage to her father. We're lucky Snoop is not like George Foreman and named all his kids the same after him. Because there's a bunch of George and Georginas or in Georgias in George Foreman family. All his kids is named after him. And that's what he wanted, and his wife or kid's mother went along with it. It is what it is. But when I found out, I thought that was the funniest thing. But this is a beautiful melanated Calvin. So it's something. Maybe it's a middle name that he got. Calvin Cordell Brodus. I don't know, but somehow this is what they named their child. Who cares? She's a beautiful melanated girl who is fully loved by her parents. Fully loved by her parents. You don't see Snoop coming out here saying anything wrong about his kids. I know his first name is Calvin. but maybe Cordell is his middle name. I'm not for sure. Or maybe that's one of his other sons' names. I don't know. But either way, Snoop never comes out here and say something half cocked, half crazy about his kids. He always come out here and celebrate his kids. He celebrate his grandkids. There's nothing but love there and respect. He let his kids be who they are. And I respect Snoop for that. I respect Snoop for that. And he goes to bat for her when necessary. But she could defend herself if she has to. So these internet trolls is sitting up here trolling her and trying to further Cordozar. Oh, well, we know what type of name that sound like. I'm sorry. So maybe that's how they got her name. If it's Cordy, maybe that's how they got her name. I don't know. It's still cute. But they sitting up here trolling this girl, and she's beautiful. Beautiful. And it's just sad that people want to sit up here and got nothing better to do but to troll her and her gorgeousness. And she just trying to be herself, be a queen that she is, that she's growing into being. You know? So internet trolls need to leave her alone, because this is becoming a really big issue for her. And she's sick of it. And once I saw it, I was like, you know what? Because I've been kind of like hearing about it on and off for a couple of years. But, you know, I thought it would die down. Evidently, it hasn't. And she's fed up, and I'm tired of hearing people going after her for stupid crap. Because I'm looking like y'all ain't got nothing better to do but then question her new man and his intentions towards her. Really? Y'all ain't got nothing better to do. Let her love and be alone. Leave her alone. I know, exactly. So I'm looking like, why y'all messing with his daughter? God forbid if that was his only daughter. Can you believe that? If this was his only daughter, yeah. Y'all better be hiding. Just saying. If this was his only daughter, y'all better be hiding. Snoop know people. Y'all look lucky Big Red is in jail. Just saying. But I'm sick of the internet trolls going after her for stupid crap. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. And I know she's sick of it. Now, we do have good news about Nipsey Hussle. And I think that's the last story I want to talk about. Nipsey Hussle's killer has been found guilty. Round of applause. We knew that was going to be coming because video evidence much. The whole thing was caught on camera. And there was hella witnesses around. So, if they managed to not find this man guilty and he got on the street, he wouldn't last long. Just saying. The best thing for him was going to jail. Because he was not going to last long if he had stayed on the street. And if he had somehow got away with this and got back on the street, he would not have lasted long. He may not last long in jail. I'm surprised he lasted this long because he's been attacked a couple of times in jail. I know that for a fact. Because they had to delay one hearing because he was attacked and the back of his head was gashed up and he had to get stitches. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If anybody need to be in solitary confinement, it's him. Or suicide watch or something, it's him. Not R. Kelly. Some guy named Eric shot and killed Nipsey. I want to say back in 2019. I believe it was before the panorama. 2019, in front of his own store, the Marathon. And it's a couple of reasons that went around. But it's like he wanted Nipsey to put him on. He wanted Nipsey to put him on, and Nipsey wouldn't do it because Eric was a allegedly known snitch in the neighborhood. So he was just like, he basically was ignoring him, and the guy been hassling Nipsey for some time, and he basically kind of caught Nipsey slipping one day. You know, he approached him, and I think he approached him once, and they had some exchange of words or whatever, And then he ended up approaching him again, and that's when the shooting happened. And everything was caught on camera. Everything was caught on camera. So could you imagine if we had all these cameras that was legit when Tupac and Biggie was murdered? We may be able to have those cases solved if we had the camera capability back then. We had cameras. There was cameras, but there wasn't good cameras like the cameras that are out here now. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? No one probably would be sitting up here wondering who killed Pac and who killed Biggie, and if they ever will be brought to justice, because you see how quickly this guy was caught, beat up, put in jail, and on trial, even during the panorama. And now he's been found guilty. So we just have to sit back and see how long he get. Yeah, so now this is the outcome. Because I've been, every so often, I'll be like, what happened to the guy that killed Nipsey? You know? And then I'll look it up and I'm just like, oh, he still, you know, they still doing a trial. Okay. So every so often I will look it up. Because, you know, the panorama happened and that delayed some things. And then he got beat up in jail a couple of times, which delayed some things. Delayed some hearings. So, but we finally got to the results, which is guilty. And if nobody thought this was going to come, yeah, there was no way they was not going to find this man guilty. That's my opinion. That's how I see it. There's no way. It was too much evidence. Too much evidence. Even the girl that drove him there, she claimed that she didn't even know that Eric was going to do that. Because when she testified saying that she saw Nipsey and got excited, and then, you know, she drove away because she thought that Eric was going to, you know, get an autograph or whatever, or something. And she was thinking the same thing, like I should get out and get an autograph or a picture or whatever. But she ended up, you know, driving off somewhere else, and then she heard the gunshots. I don't know who took that last picture of Tupac. I think it was some type of paparazzi or something like that. You know, that's what I think. And they may have additional pictures because some pictures have came out, but not a lot. Not a lot. Just that, as far as I know, it's just that last picture of Tupac. And the pictures prior to, you know. But I think it was a paparazzi that got him that night. You know, that got that picture that night. They damn lucky though too. They real lucky that they got that picture. But I am happy that, you know, the outcome is finally out here, and the boy was found guilty. I hope he gets life in jail, if not the death penalty. But it's a lot of people don't get. I mean, they get the death penalty and then they serve some time, and the next, you know, it get commuted to life. No big deal, Erica. So that was paparazzi that pulled up on him. I figured it was paparazzi. Thanks, Paris. But we're lucky we got that picture, you know. We're very lucky we got that picture. Because, yeah. Very lucky we got that picture. He worked, that person worked hard for that picture, for sure. For sure, he worked hard to get that picture. And didn't even know what he was taking the picture of. He just thought he was getting a picture of Pop. You know. But I am happy that the guy, this guy Eric, has been found guilty. Like I said, I hope he gets life in prison, if not the death penalty. But like I said, he probably end up with life anyway, because this was cold-blooded murder. This was premeditated. This was premeditated. Plus, he shot somebody else. So he got convicted of that too. But that person lived. But that was one of the people that testified that kind of didn't want to give that much information. I don't think them things ever got sold. I don't know, but if they did, it went pretty much under wraps and silent. Because even Madonna's letter to Tupac went up under the hammer, meaning auction, or a letter he wrote to Madonna, something like that, and Madonna didn't even know that thing still existed. You know. So, but with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out tonight's Kiki. I want to thank you guys again for... I wouldn't sell them either. That's for sure. I would have kept them. But I want to thank you guys again for joining me this evening. I do apologize for it being so heavy, but I did try my best to give you all the good stuff in the beginning and try to give you some good stuff at the end. Again, congratulations to Jhené Aiko and Big Sean on their expecting their first child together, because like I said, she had a child prior to this relationship. So congratulations to them. Go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't also done that, and be on the lookout for our the new video that's going to be up tomorrow, which is the tarot for self-care video, and Monday is the book review video, and I did something very different with that, so I'm excited for you guys to review that on this coming Monday, so look out for that. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. If you're part of the replay gang, have a good evening and have a great rest of you guys' week.